Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today and for your patience. Hopefully, while you were waiting, you got inspired by some of the other travel styles that we offer here, like culinary with food and delicious wine. We have cycling adventures, wellness, and of course, today we're going to dive in a little bit deeper into ski vacations. Basically, anything that you can dream, we can build, and we are here for you from beginning to end. Just a quick little housekeeping. I know we've been doing Zoom for, oh my goodness, 9 months now, but it's still new to some people and sometimes technology just likes to act up anyways. So just a reminder, you have been placed on mute and that will keep the sound efficient and high quality throughout this presentation. If you do have questions, which we hope you do, you can type them out in the chat function at the bottom toolbar that you will see on your Zoom screen. You can type them out and our Director of Sales at Merit Travel, Annabelle Sia, will be moderating and helping us answer them at the end of the talk. Lastly, make sure to manage your volume on your own device. So if my voice is a little too loud, you can lower it just using your iPad or computer or phone, whatever you might be on today. A little intro about us at Merit Travel. If you are a client of ours, you're very familiar with us already, and we thank you so much for your support. If you're new to us, we are and have been a leader in the Canadian travel industry for more than 25 years. Every year, we're servicing over 350,000 Canadians, which is pretty amazing. And our goal is always to help you design exceptional travel experiences that will change you and hopefully leave the places that you visit a lot better as well. Our mission is really simple. It's just to help you travel better. So like I said, from beginning to end, we're here to take the stress out of the planning for you so you can just invest all of your energy in enjoying the travel experience. So Canada's best ski resorts, greatest hits for skiers and non-skiers alike. Now, today's a little bit unique and different because I am here to help us learn a little bit more about ski, but I'm a non-skier myself. So typically when I vacation, I love to go on fun adventures in the sun. So if I can take my sunglasses and sunscreen only, I am a happy traveler. Most recently, I've been to Jamaica, where you can see in that photo on your screen there. And before that, I was in my now favorite country, United Arab Emirates, hitting up Dubai and Abu Dhabi. This year has, of course, been a little bit different. And I was chatting with one of my colleagues, telling him, you know, I really just need a getaway. I'm in the same office space every single day. I need a change of scenery. I need to just talk to somebody else besides my own husband, be around new surroundings, get outside. But what am I going to do in the middle of winter here in Canada? He suggested a ski vacation. Now, I have not been skiing since, oh my goodness, high school, where we went on a little trip to Banff. And while I will admit it was fun, it's definitely not my first choice or my go-to when I'm thinking about planning travel. Like I said, though, this year has been a little different and unexpected. So I really just wanted to consider a new possibility and make the most of winter. And how better to do that than to be somewhere where you can just enjoy the snow rather than kind of trying to get through it on your way to work or wherever you might be going. So I decided to invite this colleague along. He is our resident ski expert, Paul Marner. He is the director of Merit Ski Vacations. And as you can tell by the photo, he is a seasoned skier. And he's here to convince me and us and help us learn a little bit more about what ski vacations offer if you're not really a skier like myself. I love that he said he never goes skiing without friends and family, which brings up an important point of, you know, this is a good opportunity to bring family and loved ones and friends together in a unique travel style. And Paul told me that he couldn't pick a favorite destination for ski. I don't know if I believe that one though, Paul.
Well, you know, Sandra, 14,000 days ago, I started skiing, and I would say that it's the closest thing to flying without leaving the ground.
Huh, okay. Well, that sounds intriguing to me. So today's very simple. We're going to teach you a little bit about why the future is ski vacations. And really, it's a safe and fun vacation style for 2021. You can go out and enjoy the wild blue yonder this season. Now, Paul, the last time I explored the wild blue yonder, I ended up on the back of a camel in the Dubai desert.
Well,
Please,
this is a
please,
little
Paul.
different than that.
Yeah, tell me that I'm not going to end up on a moose ride in Moose Jaw or something.
That's funny. No, actually, the wild blue yonder, by my definition, is that smiling lady in that picture looking up above her to the blue vistas. The wild blue yonder, when you're in the mountains, takes you a little bit closer to the sun and to the stars and to the fresh air. And that's where you need to be next.
Ooh, I like the sound of that. So, folks, if you are a non-skier, I just ask you and invite you to open yourself up to think of yourself as maybe a more like not yet skier. We're gonna take a little quick look at some travel protection and why that's important, especially in this season where we have tons of new added safety measures. We also have a surprise little bonus from one of our ski partners, and we will be announcing a fun giveaway happening at the end of this presentation. So please do stick around until the end. Now, Paul, the question on my mind is really simple. Why in the world would I want to take a ski vacation?
Why would you want to take a ski vacation? Well, I guess I could say the same about going to the desert, but since we're on ski topics today, I think that there's such a variety of different destinations that we're going to look at, three in particular today. But to get out there, bring your friends and family, join adventure, relax. There's all kinds of immersive getaways. And of course, these days, it's important to stay in Canada locally.
I will admit, these ladies do look like they're having a good time with their fruit punch out in the sun. That I could warm up to.
Sangria is not just for cold weather, hot weather, pardon me.
Apparently. So first, we're going to start with the best first-time ski vacation if you're like me and you haven't been since your high school ski trip. This destination is great for families, nature lovers, good if you're in the city and need a little escape, and there are so many activities you can try out. So we're here at Mont Tremblant. Paul, can you tell us a little bit about this fabulous looking place?
Well, certainly Mont Tremblant is our most popular destinations, and you can see by the picture, it's a beautiful condominium village situated right at the base of the mountain. And wow, there's just so many different virtues of this place. 102 trails, only a 6.5 hour drive from Toronto with a modern highway, all kinds of activities, lodging, bars, restaurants, and boutiques. It's an award-winning destination that goes on and on and on.
Sounds pretty good to me. And it looks like there's a lot more that you can explore there. I mean, I see luxurious mountainside lodging, choosing between French, Italian, and Asian cuisine. What's this all about?
Well, again, as I mentioned, the village itself is situated perfectly at the base of the mountain. It's very, very popular with families, with groups that we also look after, quite a few of them. And you'll also see that it's modern and very, very well developed for the skiers. In fact, it has the world's only ski in, ski out casino.
What? That sounds pretty cool to me. Now, I'm all for activities, especially on a ski trip, since I don't really remember how to ski per se. So if I decided to go to Mont Tremblant, like what else could I do? Could I learn to ski if I wanted to? What kind of activities do they offer?
Well, Sandra, that's a good question. And I think a lot of people that travel as a family, you've got all types of different abilities within the family or within your group, depending on who you're skiing with. And the equipment nowadays is a lot more developed than 20 years ago. And shame on you for not even thinking about it until now. But you can get a whole comprehensive package that would include your lift tickets, your rentals, as well as lessons. And mark my words, if you were to spend 4 or 5 days in a row in a ski lesson program, by the end of that week, you'd be a pretty good skier. And then, of
Ah,
course, you could head out to the spas. There's several spas in the village itself, as well as a famous one called the Scandinave. And you've got cross-country skiing and all types of dog sledding and music outdoors, a crackling fire. Far and away our most popular destination for the greater Toronto area.
I love that. So basically, you're telling me it's time to trade in the beach chair for a ski lift chair.
It's time to change. We call it a chairlift, beach chair for
Oh,
a chairlift. And there is 500 resorts in North America and about $50 billion worth of business that's done every year. And they do employ about 500,000 people collectively. And Tremblant is very fortunate enough to earn decades worth of awards year after year after year because of the way that they provide these facilities, and people come back quite often.
so basically, they're like the Oscar winner of ski resorts, which
That's
is
a very good way to put it. One of them, anyway.
okay.
Speaking of access, too, people can also fly to Tremblant when Porter Airlines gets organized again. There's a direct flight from the Toronto Island to Tremblant International Airport. So you're talking city to slopes in only about 2 hours.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. Now, to be honest, Paul, when I travel, I want to feel good when I get home. I want to be able to go explore, have an adventure, see different parts of the world, whether far away or local. But I want to come home refreshed and recharged. And I'm really big into wellness and nutrition and yoga and all that stuff. So wherever and whatever this gal is doing looks appealing to me. She seems to be in a nice hot pool surrounded by the sunshine and trees and nature. I feel like I would come home feeling pretty good after this type of trip. So now we're going to move in to the best all-encompassing Rocky Mountain experience. Again, really good option for a family who wants to do something a little bit different and fun without having to go too far. It's easy enough to organize. Great for us non-skiers, but also people who are avid skiers, and offers a really good opportunity for people who want to just explore and get a little bit of a taste of adventure. And this whole photo here is really the definition of vacation to me. It looks like the total enjoyment of what's in front of you, really living the mountain lifestyle. And I think it's so important in this day and age where we're just so busy all the time to strategically invite these moments of pause into our lives. And even if I'm not skiing, but I'm hanging out on one of those mountains, that would be such a wonderful and unique gift to just breathe in fresh air, truly disconnect from my cell phone and my emails and day-to-day life, hopefully eating some gourmet food, taking lots of Instagram-worthy photos so I can show off my travels, and taking that time to just explore our own backyard. And I actually had the chance to explore parts of Canada very recently. I went to Newfoundland and after that, BC. And I was just so struck by the incredible beauty that is in our very own country here in Canada that I had missed out on for so many years traveling internationally. So I think I'm really ready to just grab a hot cocoa, sit by the fireplace, eat some fondue, and this year presents us with a really fresh opportunity. Hey, Paul, in terms of just flexibility for families and when they set up their ski trips, because typically people go on March break, but this year we can do things a little bit differently, right?
Well, Sandra, you're absolutely right. And if you look, we were talking about the Wild Blue yonder. There is that family enjoying that one. And that is a destination we're just about to tell you about. But remember, the good thing about what's going on, if there's such a thing during these times, is that with the advent of virtual office and virtual school, it certainly is opening up a lot more time slots, whether you don't necessarily have to go at Christmas or March break to travel. And we're finding the booking trend is a lot larger across the entire season than it used to be.
That's so great. And one of the pros about how this past year has changed the way we travel a little bit. So I have been here before, Banff and Lake Louise. I used to live in Winnipeg, so it was quite close by. And to me, it just represents a truly authentic Canadian experience. Saying about that moose ride earlier, I could totally picture myself just kind of riding a moose down these streets. It's so the emblem of Canada. And these are two very popular ski destinations too, Paul, Banff and Lake Louise, right?
That picture right there is a genuine shot of downtown Banff. And again, there's that wild blue yonder. You'll see that this destination is very, very popular. Banff National Park is exceptionally unique and recognized around the world. And the beauty of this town is you have access to those 3 ski areas that have a combined number of runs of 357 runs between 3 different ski areas. That's all accessible on one lift ticket. People come from families, groups, couples, come to visit Banff from all over the world. It's quite something.
Wow. Can you tell me a bit more about the world-class resorts it offers? Again, I'm still really new to this, so I'd love to just know where I could go.
So these 3 ski areas are all on the one lift ticket. The shuttle bus is included on the lift ticket as part of the package that you'll get from us. So you have Lake Louise ski area, which you can see pictured there. You also have Sunshine Valley, which is just 20 minutes from downtown Banff, and then Mount Norquay is about 10 minutes away. And all of those ski areas are accessible on the one lift ticket, as I mentioned. The other cool thing about Sunshine, it actually crosses into the BC border, although it's invisible. I've skied on both sides all in one run. It's kind of fun.
That is really fun. I don't know what it is about being, in one province and then the other within the same second. That's so exciting, but that is a good ride to try out if you haven't done that.
And don't forget, there's lots of good airline lift from Calgary to Calgary from most places in Canada. So it's a convenient flight, and it's about 3 hours from Calgary by car.
And it looks sunny. I'm so impressed. I see sunshine. That's exciting. I could still pack my sunscreen.
Wild blue yonder. And you'll notice too in the background, you'll see that there's a big base lodge there. So there's plenty of provisions that have been made by all the ski areas for social distancing and COVID health and safety protocols. Likewise, on the chair lifts, you can go up with, or on the ski lifts, you can go up with people that are in your bubble or spread apart, depending on the regulations of the specific resort.
Perfect. That's very good to know. Thank you.
All the resorts are geared for looking after the health and safety things.
Now, if I wanted to, get off the resort a little bit and go explore the town, this is really where I could see myself even spending a day. I'm a big history buff, so stopping by their oldest museum of natural history in Western Canada would be pretty cool. It's called the Banff Park Museum. And I'd also love to just do some yoga while staring at a mountain. There's so many different retreats that are offered and different fitness style classes, but doing that immersed in the natural fresh air would be amazing. And I also remember as a kid when I'd go visit Banff and these beautiful places, I'd drive around with my parents, and on the side of the road, we'd see a moose or a bear, other really neat wildlife experiences that were totally brand new to me growing up in the prairies. It just sounds like a really fantastic way to see our own part of this world that offers these jaw-dropping moments.
Well, I couldn't agree with you more. Actually, Banff is busier in the summertime than it is in the winter, and it attracts a market from all over the world, and so many people enjoy this destination for everything it has to offer. Me personally prefer the alpine part of it.
We're getting there, Paul. I'm still warming up to the idea.
Good. That's important.
Now, Chateau Lake Louise looks very beautiful.
The Chateau Lake Louise is probably one of the most photographed buildings in North America. It's obviously near the Lake Louise ski area, and there's lots of activities going on all around the area, including probably what you would enjoy is that afternoon tea at the Chateau after your snowshoe or cross-country ski.
Ooh, going for a glacier hike in Mother Nature and then warming up at the Chateau with some afternoon tea. That sounds luxurious, like simple luxury that I could get used to that.
It's a pretty spectacular building, that is for sure. And it's a Fairmont. So the
This is where I see
caliber of lodging and all that is exceptional.
people go ice skating around here, and there's that kind of iconic picture of Lake Louise, that turquoise blue.
That's right.
Okay. I mean, you're kind of getting me here with the glacier hike and afternoon tea at the chateau.
All right. Myself, I'll have a beer.
Perfect. We can cheers still the same. Now, we're going to go a little bit further for the best panoramic experience. If you want to elevate your heartbeat with some adventure and inhale some of the freshest air on the planet. Whew. So this is basically signature Canada, so pure. It's pure Canada. And we're talking about Panorama Mountain Resort.
So this is an excellent destination as well. I've been there many, many times, and it's very popular with families and groups and individuals alike. The beautiful part about this is, again, you're flying into Calgary, same as Banff. You'll see in the next few images the way the village is set up. It's situated right at the base of the mountain, and they've got all kinds of different terrain, getting back to how you'd get on that Learn to Ski Week, or if you're an extreme snowboarder or skier, there's plenty of new terrain to appeal to everybody here.
And this is in Canada's oldest mountains, which that's also a very cool fun fact.
Absolutely.
I wonder how old they are, Paul.
Well, you know what? I didn't put a stopwatch on them, so we'll have to go with what you said.
Ancient, which is perfect.
So Sandra, here's this picture I was telling you about. Right behind that lady, you can see those are the gentle slopes. And when you get set up with your rentals and your lessons, you learn to master those slopes and then gradually work your way higher and higher up the mountain. And of course, there's the hot pool at the base of the mountain, and it's all condominiums in a U-shaped. And there's restaurants and bars and boutiques and grocery store and everything there. So it's quite self-contained and, as I said, very popular. You can even grab lunch halfway up the mountain at some of the special huts that they have there.
Now,
There's that tea. There's that tea again.
Yeah, that's what I'll be doing. My high tea by the hot pool and looking out at the mountains. Now, I remember several years ago, I was traveling to Malaysia, and it was so incredibly hot when finally, by some miracle, a fresh breeze hit my face. And I remember thinking, this is luxury. I could kind of see the parallel with luxuriating in the alpine air and just kind of inhaling some of that really fresh air, and what a special moment that is to just give your body that chance to renew in such a special and immersed with Mother Nature kind of way.
Well, those people in that hot pool, I think they've been out making the most of the fresh air on the mountain, and now they're luxuriating.
Luxuriating, perfect. Now, even though I'm not a skier yet, I do like adventure, and I love trying new things. Last year I was in Florida and my husband took me on, I don't know, I think it's a jet ski, boat ski thing.
Yeah.
And I was on that and it was great, but I was screaming so loud, I'm pretty sure the neighboring states could hear me. Doesn't mean I won't try something though. And even, I think that's me driving you around in that photo, Paul. I don't even know what that is yet. A ski
I'd
doo.
love to do that. That's a skidoo snowmobile. They do these amazing trails. You go way up into the back bowls. And again, there's that wild blue yonder, Sandra. And I hope that is you smiling behind that helmet. I'm not sure I want to be on the back all the time, but you know, I'll start with that. Also, the snowshoeing they do there is fantastic. Great hiking. They've got a heli-ski or a heli-complex right at the base of Panorama that does flights all the time, weather permitting, of course. I don't think you're ready for that, but there's a lot of ski aficionados who at least do one day when they're at Panorama. And then for those who don't want to go helicopter skiing, Panorama is a proud owner of a Monster X machine, which is a big snowcat that takes people up to hidden, secluded runs without having to get in a helicopter. So Panorama does offer a lot of adventures over and above the typical alpine life.
Well, being in a helicopter is my favorite thing in the entire world. So never say never. I might be doing that sooner than you think.
Okay, well, as long as you're not the co-pilot, I'm all right.
I'll get my license before. Now, this
Good.
is
Whoa.
exactly the moment I've been waiting for. Food, foodie for everyone. I am a big foodie. Whenever I travel, it's pretty much just an excuse to go try different cuisines. And I know sometimes we think, well, what is Canadian cuisine? And people will say a poutine or something like that. But I've been exploring Canadian cuisine since about 4 years ago now, and it's spectacular to learn about the local mountain fare that chefs are using and utilizing to create these truly gastrodynamic meals. And this is Chef Vincent Stefano. He's born and bred in Montreal, comes from an Italian and French family. He really specializes in creating these elegant Canadian dishes with slow craft foods. And you can see there's a healthy, delicious bowl with a glass of wine. Then you can head over to the Fireside Cafe and try some pastries. And it looks like a wood burning oven that Chef Stefano is leaning on. So the food at this resort and all these resorts is something to really try out, because you'll get to learn more about the local ingredients, what's around, and get to know your own country a little bit better.
I've heard Chef Stefano has Michelin chef credentials as well.
I've heard that too, so I'm very eager to travel there and find out for myself. Now, honestly, when this whole conversation started, this is what I thought a ski vacation looked like. I pictured myself with my husband, both of us miserable, climbing up a mountain, snow blowing in our faces, not a sight of, other humans around me for miles and miles and miles, and just snow everywhere. What I'm
Well,
starting to see though, is this is what a vacation really is.
now you're getting it. Climbing up an incredible mountain, just you and another person. There are people that like to do that, and certainly we offer a whole series of different resorts, and there's lots of amenities like this. But as this image depicts, this certainly is what a ski vacation really is. Getting together with your family, your friends, the wild blue yonder, luxuriating in spacious lodging at all the prices that we offer that are really exceptional. This is what it is, Sandra.
Yeah, I know a lot of people who go on ski vacations, families, friends who go in groups, people who do yoga retreats out in Lake Louise. And I just always wondered why, but really it was just a matter of opening myself up a little bit to being willing to learn more and see what the possibilities are.
There you have it.
Now, we've touched on this lightly, just acknowledging that this has been a different year, and we want people to be able to travel with peace of mind. And we know that for many people, travel plans are still on pause, but tons of other people are booking and traveling as well. So whatever your choice is, we're here at your service. And Paul's just going to touch on some of what's new and the what ifs involving our ski vacations.
Well, going back to March, we had thousands of people all over the country, but all over the world for that matter, that we worked very hard in getting them rescued and back home again safely. And we've had a lot of experience looking after people as far as refunds and extra service. And it was actually quite a lot of work to get everything done. But essentially, the force majeure policies are a bit varied depending on the supplier and what their policies are. And the resorts are currently working at about 65% capacity, and social distancing is being enforced on lifts and in hotels, as well as health and safety protocols for all of the resorts. So it's important to understand that if in fact a resort does close, there are applicable refunds, but it's all subject to different suppliers, and it's too big a scope to go into for this webinar. But we do look after people, and that's our mission.
Excellent. And on that note, want to just touch on travel protection, really insurance that fits your travel style. If we learned anything this year, it was the importance of having your travel insurance and protecting that investment that you're making going into any trip, whether near or far. So we always recommend packing essentials, packing 101, never leave home without your travel protection. And we've partnered with Allianz Global Assistance to provide you with tons of different products that suit your needs, including a really popular one called Cancel for Any Reason. Again, we really learned this year how important it is to think about these things and think beyond what might be offered on just a typical credit card. So we're always happy to offer a quote and just help you understand what you've got covered, because even government healthcare plans don't cover many incidentals outside of your home province. So even when we're traveling domestically, it's still important to remember to think about this. Now, I want to do a very special intro to our friends at Skis and Bikes. They are an amazing store. And personally, the first thing I think about whenever I'm going to travel somewhere is what do I pack and what do I need to wear? And when it comes to a ski vacation, I would have no idea where to start. I know that I want to look, at least a little bit cute on the mountain. And our friends at Skis and Bikes have very generously offered a 10% off online or in-store product code that you can use. They have 3 locations in the GTA, Toronto, Collingwood, and Mississauga. And we have invited Devin, the store owner, to just show us around very quickly, just give us a little bit tour. That way, if you are getting started in a ski vacation, you can know exactly what your first pit stop would be and what you need to do. If, just by the way, make sure you are on speaker view. That way you are able to see, and that is at the top right hand of your screen. You can switch between gallery view and speaker view. You'll want to be on speaker. So Devin, we invite you to show us a little bit about Skis and Bikes.
Great, thanks so much, Sandra. Thanks for having me. And welcome to the wonderful lifetime sport of skiing. My grandfather still skis, he's 95. My sister is pregnant now and she's gonna have her first child in February, and definitely that'll be a skier as well. So we have multi-generational skiers among us. We've helped people over 40 plus years get ski equipment. Like you said, we're located in Collingwood, Toronto, and Mississauga, where I am now. So I'm going to go over quickly some gear that you're going to need to get started. First thing, you're going to need a really good ski boot. This is like the crux of your enjoyment on the ski hill. Most people hate their ski boots and they're uncomfortable. We have a boot fit guarantee. So we have boot fitters who are trained for years. They will make your boot comfortable, guaranteed. The second thing I always recommend is like a ski sock. So this is a merino wool ski sock. Basically, your foot is gonna sweat about a whole cup of water in a day. You wanna make sure that you have something that's gonna wick that moisture away. A really good pro tip is put one of these in your jacket. So when you're up at the top of the mountain and you're probably not going back for lunch, switch that out at lunch, and the afternoon is going to be a totally different experience. So those are the 2 first thing on your feet. The other thing is that you're probably not going to be renting as much this year as previous years. There's going to be long lineups. Some resorts may not offer rentals. So you want to probably get into a pair of skis this year more than other years. I would suggest something like a women's, it's called the Pure Joy. It's by Head, essentially ski and binding. The idea now is lightweight and easy to turn. So something to get you on the slope, getting you confident right off the bat. Even before you start the lesson, your gear is going to be super important to kind of have that advancement and that joy. Great. So, hard goods, there's a huge amount of stuff, and I'm not going to go into all of it. That's why people come in and we outfit them. We have, like I said, 40 years of experience, so we can get you set up in any level. What's new this year is heated vests. Basically a vest that is battery operated that will heat. You're going to be doing a lot more après outside. You're going to be walking around a lot more, by the fire, sipping on that, that hot tea, or Paul having a beer. It's probably going to be happening outside at some resorts. So you want to be warm, right? So socks, and then we have heated gloves. And the new thing this year is heated vests. So you can stay nice and toasty. You have that cool breeze kind of touching your face, but you are, not uncomfortable. In terms of jackets, we do a lot of, down jackets. We do a layering system where you start with merino wool and then you kind of move out. You want to do merino wool. You never want to wear cotton. So never, ever wear cotton when you're skiing. Cotton is a fiber from a plant, and it likes to absorb water. But you want to be like a sheep, right? You want to have wool on your skin and then have down and then a waterproof layer on top of that. So make sure you're layering properly. The other important thing is to always wear a helmet. A lot of people have moved to a helmet. It wasn't as popular 10 years ago, but now almost every resort, it's mandatory to have a helmet. Make sure you get a helmet with a dial adjust on the back. This just helps you adjust the fit so it's nice and comfy, and also get a lot of ventilation. So this is called the Giro Avera. It's a women's specific helmet. We have hundreds of different helmets, and we can basically fit you in store, or even if you call, we can give you a really good idea if you take a circumference of your head, what helmet is going to fit you the best. Also, never rent a helmet. You don't know what kind of incident it's been in. Between ski boots and helmets, those are the two things you really want to have fit well and then have and own. The last thing is getting all your stuff to the hill. You want to have a really good bag. So this is a Dakine 60-liter bag where you can kind of put your ski boots in the back. Everything goes in, and you have a little pad here. So, a lot of local resorts in Ontario, you'll be putting your ski boots on like in the parking lot, and you can throw, basically this is for that, and then put your ski boots in, throw all your stuff in, and then for your skis, you have a ski bag like this, based on the length of your ski. So general lengths is like 175 and then 195. So basically, we have all the gear that you need. And then I know it's sometimes hard to navigate, especially when you're new to the sport. But we have people, our two stores are right now curbside pickup only because of the lockdown in Peel and in Toronto. So we have a lot of people standing by wanting to, answer any questions. You can use that discount code online or in store. Our Collingwood store is still open. We're super optimistic for the season. There's not much else to do, so get out there and ski.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Devin. I feel like I just learned a whole lot on that. So let me just get back here. But I think a couple of points that you made that were really interesting were that whole heated vest. Like, you just answered my prayers, because the first thing I think about is being cold. And also the sweat sock. Like, I feel like I kind of need one right now, a heated vest and a sweat sock. So thank you. That was super informative. It's great to support our small local businesses, and they've offered us a very generous discount for the Merritt community. Thank you for that.
No problem.
Now, we also have a really fun giveaway happening with one of our ski partners, Elon. We are going to be giving away a free pair of men's or women's skis with bindings. The winner will be chosen at random and announced by email. So do make sure you are set up to receive emails from us in case you are our very lucky winner.
This is Elan's 75th anniversary of making skis. Their first factory was in Slovenia and still exists today. And we've been in partners with them for over 20 years. And one of the perks that Elan offers is with people that organize groups with us with 20 or more passengers, they qualify for a free Elan free Elan snowboard or pair of skis as part of the perks over and above free trips you also earn when you organize groups as well.
Awesome. So we want to say thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. This is really about making memories and not forgetting to smile in that perfect mountain photo op.
Well, at this stage, we shouldn't forget our medical, government, and essential workers that look after us all. And it's so important that we abide as good citizens. And lots of people are traveling, and lots of people are in the midst of planning their travel. And certainly we want to look after everybody. But Sandra, Now that you have everything you need to know, can I get you off the sand and onto the snow?
You know, I'm a little bit stubborn sometimes, Paul, and I don't like to admit when I'm wrong. And even though this might be what I look like out on those high slopes, I think I'm going to be coming to somebody here at Merit Travel to plan and book something for 2021. And guys, don't miss out. The 2021 ski season is honestly selling out so fast. When you book with us, you get access to exclusive offers that you will not find anywhere else. And what's great is that we have Merit Travel branches from coast to coast. So you can just call in at this 1-866-341-1777 number, and you can get in touch with one of our travel experts here throughout Canada.
Sandra, that's such great news. I'm so pleased. I'm going to get you on the snow.
That was easy.
Okay, we have a ton of questions, so I am going to try to read them all off in order. And some of them have already been asked, but just in case somebody missed it in the chat, I'm going to start from the very start. I'm going to ask them all. So somebody's asked, can you fly to Tremblant from Toronto?
The answer is yes on Porter Airlines. You fly to Mont Tremblant International Airport, and it's about a 40-minute bus ride from there to the actual resort.
And is the airport close to the hill?
40 minutes away.
40 minutes away. Thoughts on COVID risk factor skiing this winter during the pandemic? Somebody wants to go to Whistler and maybe some smaller trips to Colorado and Utah. I know you guys touched on it, but do you know specifically what Whistler, for example, is doing?
Well, things are changing so much, but we're doing packages to Kicking Horse, to Whistler, to Fernie, to Big White, to Sun Peaks, and also Revelstoke. And depending on what the regional conditions are, things are changing so frequently. So if that guest could please contact us, we could give more specific information. But unfortunately, things are changing quite frequently.
Thank you for that. Rosalind has asked, what are the connection options from the airport in Montreal? So I'm not sure if she means flights or car rentals or transfers, but maybe you can comment on all of that.
Well, we offer both. So depending on people's personal preferences, usually people going with 4, 5, or 6 people would rent an SUV or a van or a smaller individual travel. There's bus shuttles from pretty well all the resorts.
Okay. And what about the chairlifts? Is there physical distancing on chairlifts or even in the lift lines?
There's physical distancing on chairlifts as well as on the gondolas. And again, it depends on who's in your bubble and social distancing, whether it's a double chair or a 6-seater chair. But there's specific instructions that everybody would get with their travel vouchers when we send them out.
Let's see, skied. Sorry, is Panorama ski in or out, or is it just nearby?
No, it's all the lodging situated right at the base of the mountain. Sometimes, I've been there many times, sometimes it's more convenient to go into your own condo than it is the actual restaurant at the base of the mountain.
Right. Do you have to book times now at the hot pool? And I think this means the hot pool in Banff.
You do. But again, the conditions are changing frequently. So depending on, like we have a lot of people traveling soon, and we have lots of people planning for 2022. So it's ebb and flow. So it's difficult to answer that question until we know the customer specific dates and things.
Okay. And how do you get to Panorama? Do you fly into where?
Calgary, same as Banff.
And the transfer is how long?
It's about 3.5 hours to, I should say 3 hours to Banff, and it's about 4 hours to Panorama, again, depending on weather. And if you're on a bus or driving your own car.
Right. Have you been to Big White, and does Big White have any real expert terrain?
I've been to Big White many times. I think that other destinations would have more radical terrain for extreme skiers. Big White is predominantly a family destination.
When do you hope to have packages and prices for the 2022 season?
That's a good question. We are getting a fair number of requests for it, and we're dealing them with on individuals, but a lot of the resorts right now are just gearing up, and hopefully the majority of the contracts will come in end of January, middle of February. But if you have specific requests, we're happy to address them in advance.
So you guys provided a lot of really great information on ski travel, but somebody in the chat box has mentioned that they love golfing. Will you have any future golf webinars that they can look forward to?
Well, that's a great question. And I'm sorry, I should have mentioned that Merit Ski also has a Merit Golf Vacation division. And there's probably a lot of similarities between this particular webinar and what golfers need to do to bring their families along to different destinations as well. So I'll definitely suggest that to the marketing people about preparing something similar for golf. Thanks for asking that.
This one actually is for Devin because it's very specific to the vest, the heated vest. So I don't know if Devin, can you just unmute yourself? And somebody's asked, what is the battery life on the Therm IC vest?
Yeah, so the battery life on a thermic vest depends on how high you have it. There's 3 temperature settings. So typically it's between, on the highest setting, it's about 3 hours, and on the lowest setting, it's about 12 hours.
Okay, I would have it cranked like to 90 degrees.
Yeah,
Personally. I hate the cold.
Lava setting, right?
That's me. Okay, here's a really good and very important question. Paul, what type of beer do you like?
Well, I like Stella is my favorite beer for après ski.
Okay, good to know. Everybody remember, you can, if you want to see Paul on the slopes, you can buy him a beer.
All right.
Somebody has asked, what does a ski package include?
Sorry, what does a what?
Ski package include?
So the package typically includes the airfare, the transportation, the accommodation, and the lift tickets, and then other added value things. Some people would elect to use their points for air, but typically lift tickets, transfers, and lodging, and then air, if that's an option that people are using their own points or letting us look after them, that's all.
Okay. Does Tremblant offer same-day ticket purchase? And I assume that means on the slopes?
So that's a good question. And there's been an evolution in the ski industry where in the past you could walk up to what was known as a ticket window and buy a ticket the day of. Now, as I mentioned, the resorts are operating on roughly 65% capacity for lodging and access to the mountain in order to make sure that the social distancing rules are abided by. So typically you need to do things in advance, and we have good access to lifts and lodging packages.
Okay. And actually the question before on the hot pools meant that they were asking about the hot pools in Panorama, but I'm going to assume it's the same answer regardless of where it is. The situation is very fluid no matter what resort you go to. And we'd need to know more on the dates that you were thinking of. Am I right, Paul?
Yeah, I would go, yes.
Okay, thank you. Do you have any deals for Quebec City, Mont Saint Anne, La Massif?
We have a whole big menu of skiing all over the world, and Mount Saint Anne and Le Massif is part of that. You can get a link for our new electronic brochure. I think it's about 45 pages, and it covers the destinations all over North America. And we even do trips to Japan.
And Jennifer's asked, are there ski masks? I assume she's asking that.
I think it's part of the social distancing thing where you're required to wear a mask, or the people can see in that picture. Those guys have balaclavas on, but I believe you need face coverings when you are not actually moving down the slopes. But again, each resort has its own protocol of how to handle things.
I think that's the end of the questions, folks.
That was amazing. I wanted to thank everybody very, very much for attending, especially being able to help me convert Sandra to get her onto the snow. And certainly our whole team at Merit Ski and Merit Golf remain at everybody's service. And we're happy to get you on your way soon or help you plan things for the future. So please don't be a stranger. Take a picture of that last slide so you have it on your phone.
Good idea. Thank you, everybody. And thank you, Paul and Sandra. You guys gave a great presentation today.
Thank you very much to everyone. All the best.
Thank you, everyone. Happy December.